Good evening. As you can see, I'm not present, but I'll be chairing the meeting this evening. Thank you, Sister Blanche. We will now have our opening prayer. So, Brother Derek, could you open our meeting with the prayer?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this gathering on today. We just thank you for another opportunity for us to come together. We just thank you for all of your many blessings. We ask that you be with us in this meeting. Help us to learn how to work together and to achieve the goals that we have. All these blessings we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. We have our August birthdays. I don't know who they are.
I didn't. Does anybody have a birthday in August? I didn't. Okay. Maxine Drew. Miss Drew, Maxine Drew.
August 23rd.
August 23rd. Any more August birthdays? Officer Moore?
Yes, sir, August 27th.
Okay, well, let's sing happy birthday to Miss Drew.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday to you.
Does everyone have a copy? Did everyone receive the agenda? So, we have a few copies, and we need to have a motion for approval of the agenda.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. This evening, we have a distinguished, outstanding
Yes, yes.
guest.
Thank you so much.
We have with us this evening, we have our Wyandotte County District Attorney, Mr. Mark Dupree, and he asked if he could do a presentation or talk. We'll have him now on our agenda because he has another commitment. So here now, our district attorney.
Thank you so much. You're so kind. I appreciate the opportunity to speak. Is it fine that I sit or should I stand? What is the protocol? I will stay. Thank you so much. Wisdom, I appreciate it. I will do it. I appreciate the opportunity to come speak. It was a joy last time. It's always good to be around those who are doing the work in the community. I wanted to share with you all just a couple things and then take any questions that you have of what we're doing in the DA's office since the last time that I was here. We are in the process of creating what's called the DA's Community Liaison Board. And that Community Liaison Board is to serve as a committee by which my office would work with each quarter to not just analyze what's going on in the criminal justice system and in Wyandotte County, the problems that's happening, but more so to empower the community members to say, hey, I'm here, I'm in the neighborhood, I know what's going on, and this is what I think can resolve the problem if you team up with us. And so I've talked with some folks out in Seattle, Washington. I have a colleague of mine who's a state's attorney out there, and likewise in Baltimore, Maryland City Prosecutor's Office. I have to clarify that nowadays. And they have likewise some of the same type of organizational agreement within their office. Well, Mr. Dupree, why don't you just work with the Neighborhood Watch organizations and you work with the nonprofit organizations that are already out there? And I do, but I don't want to just talk, because when I come to these meetings, I'm simply informing you all of what we're doing. And then I'll get some response and email, say, hey, that was a good job, and that was great. And I'm all for that. We need to keep that going. However, some folks have great ideas on what will fix the problem. And oftentimes, situations like this does not allow me the opportunity to really go into depth into reasons or should I say, problem-solving conversations in utilizing the community's ideas. This community liaison board will meet quarterly in my office, and it will be between 25 to 35 people. It will be from First Street to 142nd Street. We will have representation from the entire county. We will discuss problems. We will discuss issues. Ma'am, please come and take this seat. We will discuss what we're doing in our office, and after we all come to an agreement, say for instance, we believe that one of the biggest issues on this side of town is gun violence. If these young people would get rid of these guns, so on and so forth, and we will allow 30 minutes of all the complaining and all the problems. Well, then I'm going to flip the coin. I said, we got it all out. Y'all let me know what the problem is. Now, all of this wisdom at the table, how can we fix it? What can I do in the district attorney's office? What program can we create? What connection can we do? Should we do a gun back program? Should we connect with the alarm system program or companies to see if we can do something of that? Should we connect with whoever? What type of program? I've seen this work more so in Seattle, Washington, where the African American Community Liaison Board created a diversion program for the DA's office, but it was tailor-made by the community members. They said, let me tell you what type of diversion program we need. And they outlined it because they are in the community, they see what's happening. And what this allows me to do is, though I believe I have great ideas, and though I believe I know exactly what I'm doing, I also believe that the only way a person can really be an effective leader is if he or she is humble enough to shut up and listen to somebody else. And so this community liaison board will give me the ability to listen and to take ideas from community members ourselves and then empower them in this community in connection with my office to create programs ran through my office that will affect the change to help lower the crime rate and assist the police department as we continue to fight crime. Okay, so those applications will be online, hopefully within the next week. You will be hearing about it. If you're on Facebook, it'll be on Facebook. It'll be on our website. The press releases will be going out next week, correct, Mr. Carter? Yes, sir. And so everyone will know about this. This has never been done in the district attorney's office in the state of Kansas before. But apparently, I haven't been done like this in the state of Kansas before either. So why not just go ahead and try it all new? And I believe that this will assist in helping finding out not just what our problems is, but finding out what is the best way to attack them. So that's the main thing that I really wanted to get out to show where we are trying to reach beyond the four walls and beyond the courtroom to try to affect the change. The second thing is we are still actively going out with schools. We're doing a lot of back to school meetings. We have revamped our truancy program and process. I spoke yesterday to about 70 secretaries of District 500. And I told them that I would buy lunch for them, but Madam Representative, I didn't know that I was buying lunch for 70. I thought it was just going to be like 70. And so they kind of got me on that one. But I met with them to show them the new way that we are doing truancy. It used to be they were waiting till 40 and 60 days before those truancy attendants, individuals were turned over to the DA's office, where the statute says 3 days, 5 days, and 7 days. And so I literally walked into an office with about 350 petitions for truancy of kids for the last year and a half. I literally just set a case for September the 30th or somewhere around there, and the case was from January 2016 when he was thrown. So you tell me, all you parents and grandparents, how much of an effect it's going to have on this 14, 13-year-old boy and say, back a year and a half ago, you didn't show up to school. Now, you need to go to school. Boy, going to laugh at me. But point being is, we've changed it. We're now, after that 3 days, after that 5 days, after the 7 days, they have 2 weeks to get it to my office. Within those 2 weeks, my office, after we get it, we have 2 weeks to get it filed, declined, or sent to diversion. And then 2 weeks after that, they will be in front of a judge or in a diversion truancy program, so we can deal with it. So the goal is from the time a person is truant, 30 days from there, it will be in front of a judge or dealt with some other way. So we are trying to work with this thing so we can find out why these kids are absent or missing. Hey, how we doing, Jerry? And so ultimately, some of them are missing because they're, they just don't care, they're not listening, so on and so forth. But some of them are missing because their parents don't have the resources, or their parent is making them stay at home with their younger siblings while mom and daddy go to work, or mom and daddy are on drugs and so they partying up all night, so they there sleep, but make them stay to watch the younger kids. And so it is some of these things that we're working with the truancy social workers with District 500's diversion program has teamed up with us. They are great. I will say District 500 has a great truancy diversion program, and now that we are working with them, I truly believe that we are going to really make a difference in lowering that truancy. So that is all I have. I appreciate the time. I appreciate the opportunity. And above all, I appreciate you, Madam Chairperson, for allowing me to go first. So do you have any questions at that time? It's always a pleasure and a
Got a
privilege.
comment.
Say it again.
Just have a comment.
Please.
I am so glad that the problems that we have in our neighborhoods, the people in the neighborhood know what's going on. What has been happening to us for years is that people who live outside the community, because of their status, that's what they act on. Rarely do they act on what we deal with every day. So I'm so glad to hear that what's going to happen.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
So did you want to volunteer to be
I'm sure somebody who knows will absolutely be in the voice there, so,
Hey, Mr.
thank
Dupree.
you, folks. Yes,
You're
ma'am.
doing the new programs, what about, because I asked the prior administration, what about Scared Straight?
The Scared Straight program, I think it has its ups and its downs. I think it's something that I'll look at in the future. But the issue that I have with Scared Straight, having grown up here in Wyandotte County, I was, 8 years old when I seen my first dead body. And I grew up in a good family with a mom and a daddy, and they was pastors of a church, and I had a lot of, I was 12 the second time I seen my dead body, and it was gang violence all around me. So, having said that, one of the issues that I have with Scared Straight, for some of the suburban kids, that'll work. But the non-suburban kids, some of these kids dodging bullets, ducking, and mom and daddy shooting up, and cousin and got beat up by everybody and taken to jail by several times. And so when we're talking about Scared Straight, you're going to take them to the jail and say, hey, you don't want to be here. Some of them grow up thinking that the only way of growing up is, unless I do a couple times in there, it don't matter. So there's a up and there's a down.
Right.
And so,
The only reason I ask is because, I came from the school district for the last 6 years, being the SRO there.
yes, ma'am.
And I did do the jail tours, and I can tell you that even though some of them are inner city kids, taking them to the jail, they were crying, and I didn't leave them. So I think it may be a 25%, but just taking them on a tour, they didn't want to eat the food, and I had kids hold on to my shirt because they didn't want to go into a pod. So I think, and that's from Schlegel, so I think that
Yeah.
it would still, some of it would benefit, and the reason is, some of those kids don't know, they just don't get it.
Well, and let me correct one thing, because your definition of Scared Straight versus a tour, what you just said is something totally different from what I have.
No, I'm saying.
Okay, so, but I'm just saying, I want to make sure you understand. I agree with doing jail tours. And in fact, the Sheriff's Department works with my office, and I've spoke to literally about 10 of them so far, bringing young people in. I'm a major supporter of that because they need to see that. When you say Scared Straight,
Right, I want to make it a bigger,
Okay.
not just us going in there for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I would like to see it not as extensive as on TV, but
yeah,
where
because the
we
TV
just-
stuff is where I disagree
Right,
with.
where they can have a conversation with yourself or a judge
Yeah.
and let them know, hey, listen, you might have done a nickel or dime thing right now because you know as well as I do, half of those kids that are inside the school are on probation.
It's true.
for something or another. And some of it is because of their friend and they didn't understand. So I think, you know, it's just because my friend did it, then I'm gonna do it. But I would just like to see, because some of them are good kids, you know, Leandrew Vaughn was just killed the other day. I mean, close to my heart. He was a good kid. He really, truly was, and they say that on TV all the time. Oh, that was a good kid. No, this kid really was an A student, an outstanding
I know,
athlete.
I was told that
So,
in 4
no, and
years he
so
may have
I
taken my
knew him,
position.
right, and I
Yeah,
had
he
him
was
at
a good
Schlegel.
kid.
I had him at
On his
Schlegel.
way to college.
Yes.
I know.
And it just bothers me, you know, that, and I'm sorry, Al, but if we could, you know, talk about that at another time or something.
Absolutely, I would love to talk more about that. I am absolutely for giving kids more tours, but if you believe that more and more of that would work, maybe that's something we can consider. I just don't believe in yelling at a kid saying, don't do this, is gonna do it. So, but I absolutely will look more into it.
Thank you.
Look at that, she's good. I'm gonna shut him
And
down.
Kirby, thank you for all of your wisdom We're done. Next time we'll have to see if we can get him back again.
Yes, just reach out to me,
Okay.
make it happen.
All right.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. Is everyone, you don't know, because you haven't received. What about the minutes? Does anyone, did anyone read the minutes? Can we get a adoption or a vote? Motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
You were,
Who made the motion?
Ms. Harrison.
No, she was second. Okay, because I thought she was doing it, but okay.
Who seconded?
Ms. Harrison.
Ms. Harrison, second. I'll make a motion that the minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Does everyone have a copy of the treasurer's report, or have you seen the treasurer's report? We need a motion for approval of the treasurer's report.
Okay, you have